Today's date is April 1st, 2015, and it's about 6:20 p.m. right now. I'm at RR Colony 5-1B. If anybody comes to this area in the next 72 hours, morning, while I'm sleeping, in the morning, okay, afternoon, early evening, nighttime, while I'm sleeping, if anything happens, like arrest, assaults, robberies, intimidation, especially after I get inside the tent, and as a result of it becoming dark out, I am being gang stalked at this area, okay? And they're doing it creatively. And I suspect what they're doing, another technique I think that they did in order to motivate me to psychologically motivate me to make a video about it, was they literally came up in here night before last, and maybe even last night. I know the difference between an animal walking, a rodent walking, and a human walking. I've been camping that long, literally. And if you talk to anybody who's an extremely experienced camper, hiker, or survivalist, they'll tell you the same thing. Because they've been doing it for so long, they know it as well. Now, a human being makes specific types of sounds in the woods as they're walking, their strides, their pace, okay, the amount of landscape that gets displaced as a result of the weight, the pace, and the stride. It is completely different from animals, okay, especially animals, because once animals come around your area, animals already sense you before they approach the area, okay? Like if you got a coyote who's hungry enough to still come in the area because he wants to catch whatever it is they hunt for, rodents or whatever, they're still going to be cautious about coming very close to you unless they smell a lot of food and maybe have not been able to find nothing to eat for themselves for an hour or two. Then they might approach your area. Okay, but mostly coyotes will keep their distance because they're afraid of you. Unless you got a pet. If you got a pet, then they might chance it, like a dog or something, especially a little one. But the point being is this, is that as a result of me camping for so long, I have literally been able to distinguish indisputably the noise that a bird makes as it's walking and displacing leaves while it's looking for food. As a rat, when a rat walks, I know the noises that it makes. And the area, there's a couple area brown rats around here, and naturally they're going to come out as a result of them noticing me being in their habitat. So they have pretty much shifted around, going back and forth from different places, and have come back to see if they could get food around me. But as a result of them visiting this area when I'm here, I've become accustomed to their noises that they make as well. Birds, coyotes, raccoons, rats. I'm completely familiar with the type of noise they make, the noise they make in their stride, and their paces, their behaviors, their reactionary behaviors to humans. And so I am completely aware of what it sounds like when a human's walking. Case in point, listen. Okay, why don't you listen to me walk? Okay, now a coyote does not make that kind of a sound because his foot's not that big. A coyote, when he senses you in the area, if he's going to come close enough to you, he's going to look for a path to walk on, for one, which means there's not going to be a lot of leaves. And then if he decides to get brave and get a little bit closer, anytime he hears a sound, he's going to get startled, and he'll at least make a knee-jerk reaction, and possibly at least go into a running stride, at least for a few feet, because he wants to make sure that his distance has been that he has gained some distance between you and him, because he don't know what that noise was about. And I know the sound, I know the sound even of a bear now. Okay, absolutely. The point being is that you think about this: when you're inside your tent and you're laying your head down, your head outside of the pillow is within an inch, maybe inch and a half from the ground. You're able to hear the noises that animals make, how they make them, okay, how close they get to you. Now, let me help you understand something. I know for an indisputable fact these little bitches came up in here night before last, and possibly even last night. And you know what path they took? They created one when I was gone during the day. Because they knew they were going to come back at night. The path they created was right over there. They displaced some brush. It looks like they even took away some brush in order to be able to come back up in here, and they did that because they wanted me to notice them being up in here, and then they wanted to be able to evade in case I got outside the tent with a flashlight, because any other entrance that they would have used, I would have been able to hear them approaching because of the type of landscape that's on the ground, the leaves, the dead trees, their branches, their leaves. In other words, there's only one spot in this area, actually two. There's only two spots in this area that they could enter, okay, where they would not displace a bunch of crunchy leaves. One over there that they created, and this one over here. Now, I've already went back over there and reinforced some of the sticks over there. But coming up over in here, let me just put it to you this way. These filthy red-ass animals, okay, for one, I already know it was intentional because they created it, and the only way that they could create a spot for them to be able to enter in here without me hearing them enter from that area was to create the spot, which means they were here during the day and then came back at night. Okay, and it was probably done to psychologically motivate me to make a video about it. And I've already made a video about that earlier. It's got to do with the criminal motivation of why they made me homeless to begin with. Trying to claim that I'm putting myself in dangerous situations and that they better take syndicated probate control in order to keep me safe. And human trafficking is directly connected to gang stalking. Go to YouTube and type in Stockton, San Antonio. Entering 2 women's homes and raping them in their own homes because of gang stalking. Do you really think that any woman or even young man or child that is taken into the custody and put in a syndicated run group home or foster care home is safe, knowing that it is directly owned and run by gang stalking organized crime groups when they're involved in human trafficking as well as pornography and voyeurism? And if you look at the movie Trade, Taken 1 and 2, and Eden, you will clearly see that drugging those victims foods and drugging them in other ways was their way to control their mental abilities to function so they could be human trafficked. Now, it's all over the internet that these filthy whores are using date rape drugs. So do you really honestly think that a woman who was creatively taken out of her home by a United States postal worker, stealing her mail, rent out of the mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt, and then gang stalking the shit out of me at that apartment complex, psychologically motivating me to move? By the time they stole my rent, I said, screw this. Okay, and I knew if I got another apartment, it'd be the same thing because I've already been through 4 of them because of these whores. Go to Google right now and type in Erica Dean Gilmore. Notice how the city inspector and the landlord was involved in a scheme, flooding out her bathroom ceiling in order to use a normal appearing reason to evict her. And then she discovered later down the road through a landlord she applied for tenancy from that a man had approached him and told him not to rent to her because they wanted to keep her homeless. They wanted her for prostitution and her kid for federal, state, and local funds foster care. And they tried to get her involved in prostitution. These are nothing but schemes, okay, creatively brought about by covertly working with landlords, property owners, mail theft and mail delayment, postal workers to create the homelessness, and then use this dumbass bullshit scheme of gang stalking that they continue in order to prop up staged events at the target hiking area, causing them to be assaulted, even stealing their property or both, which they believe will psychologically motivate the target to call the police. Now, I already know these filthy red-ass whore San Diego police officers and San Diego Sheriff's Department officers are not going to file a police report for them being gang stalked. It'll leave all of them wide open to lawsuits because they have denied my civil and constitutional rights to make a police report concerning it. On anywhere between 19 and 26 separate occasions, 2 police officers per occasion. Absolutely. Gross negligence of duty, possible conspiracy under the color of authority, conspiracy against rights, and much more. And all the victimizations that have happened to me as a result. So, the point being is that they're just leaving it wide open to continue until it can bear its criminal motivation, until it can achieve the criminal motivation of why I was made homeless and what they're doing. Now, in order to take the syndicated probate control, they gotta claim that the person can't take care of themselves and that they're suffering because of a mental illness as a result of them claiming that they're being stalked by people they don't know, even though it's really nothing but organized harassment and staged events designed to wear the target down mentally, physically, financially, and to produce the incident reports, police reports, and doctor reports that's used to eventually take the syndicated probate control. That's right. Now, they know I'm a woman. They know they've been responsible for 5 assaults of me. So they believe that they'd bring motherfuckers up in here. See, they know I walk over to that area at least once a day. So they know that I would have noticed that they created that spot. So they figure, open up the spot, create it, then walk up in here at night after it gets dark out. And as a result, I guess they figure I might, hold on. I guess they figured I'd be too scared to get outside the tent, but they still didn't want to take any chances, so they chose the avenue to where they could hurry up, come up in here, make sure that I hear them, and then leave. Okay, if they hear me bustling around and opening up the tent and stuff, that way. Because if they would have chose any other entrance, like even including that one, because it will take anybody at least, once they get up to that area over there, it'll still take them at least 8 to 9 seconds for them to get through that spot over there. Over there, they can just run in and out. Okay, and they created it. It wasn't there 2 days ago. I know it for a fact because I have literally set up this area to where I have closed up all little itty bitty spots that were open that where I could possibly be seen, or my property could be seen from a distance. I camouflaged all the other loopholes. So I know this area absolutely very well. The point being is, did they do this? So I would make a tweet about it, because they know I'm all over Twitter exposing everything they do. So I'd make a video about it. That way, when they stage an event and I get arrested or petitioned in the county mental health by their whore criminal cops, they can say, well, look at this video Leslie made. Leslie's living in a dangerous situation. We better take care of Leslie in order to keep her safe. So we better apply for syndicated probate control, because she's been homeless now for a while. Won't seem to get out of it, and she's claiming she's being stalked by people that she don't know. So we believe she might be suffering all these things because of a mental illness. Now, in closing, okay, the San Diego government has literally set up mechanisms, okay, of dealing with homeless people. And what they'll do is what they're doing is that they're and they're already doing this to whistleblowers and gang stalking targets anyways, claiming that they're mentally ill. Because these filthy rat-ass whores already know that they're using their employment descriptions to achieve their objectives. So just go to Google and type in corrupt county mental health and gang stalking, hospitals and gang stalking, psychiatrists and gang stalking, psychologists and gang stalking, police and gang stalking, prosecutors and gang stalking, judges and gang stalking, probate lawyers and gang stalking, probate judges and gang stalking, fire department personnel and gang stalking, fire department EMS, nurses in area hospitals, psychiatric floors and gang stalking, jails and gang stalking. Now, why do you think I'm saying all this? Because it's organized crime in the system, baby cakes, that is literally hosting and perpetrating these criminal realities, staging events, because they need the incident reports and the police reports to attempt to petition the state to take the legal custody to begin with, so the target can be treated like a straw person. Okay, for federal, state, and local funds, insurance, and then eventual human trafficking in these homes that they can never escape from. So they figure, scare her, make sure that she hears you, and then they run off, believing that will cause such intense fear. I'll make a tweet about it, maybe make a video about it, and then they use the tweet and the video against me. So go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman. No, in fact, go to YouTube and go to Google and type in learning disabled woman exposes SDPD gross negligence of duty. Make sure you listen to every single thing in that video, and then look at what's in the description of it. Then go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes flat out evidence of gang stalking. Then in another search, learning disabled woman catches gang stalking. I'm all over the internet. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm predicting this. In fact, this video applies for the next 2 weeks at any hiking area. If anybody comes here and causes me any kinds of problems, including after dark or right before I wake up, or no matter what I'm doing here, whether the tent's up, down, whether the property's hidden or not, RR Colony 5 is the code notation I use that accurately describes this physical location. The code was made for legal and strategic purposes. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth, so the truth can be known for what it is. San Diego Police Department officers are directly involved in gang stalking. So are San Diego Sheriff's Department officers and deputies. Absolutely, including their deputies in detention centers. Abso-friggin-lutely. And by the way, any of you little skanked out sheriff's deputies from the Santee Detention Center, fuck you. Okay? It's that simple. It's literally that simple. Okay, so, you know, one day I would like to be able to see one of these little deputy whores being taken out of their homes, losing their jobs, being taken out of their homes, being gang stalked on a daily basis, and then being human trafficked, and then they can sit back and say to themselves, why isn't anyone helping me? I don't understand. I don't understand why I might be saying fuck you to the cops, okay, who didn't help me. You understand now? Boom. Alright, I gotta get. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. These are the mechanisms of gang stalking in part. Gotta get. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.